There was a time when you was right to come for me, Senor Macho. But this time, no. You do not arrest me. You make one move and I kill you.
For the most part, law enforcement in the West was pretty open and uncomplicated. With a gun at his hip, every man was a potential criminal. But a good peace officer like Wyatt Earp could usually tell who were the troublemakers. But sometimes appearances deceived even Wyatt.
Howdy, Ed. Howdy, Wyatt. You come to meet the stage?
Oh, I'm just making the rounds, talking to some of the boys.
Thought maybe you heard about the shipment coming in.
Oh, valuable?
5,000. New silver dollars direct from the San Francisco Mint.
I think I'll stick around.
Here it comes now.
Hey, it's running loose.
Billy still alive?
Yeah, but he's hurt pretty bad.
Couple of you men, get him over to Doc McCarty's, quick. Come on.
Run tell Miss Nancy.
Miss Nancy, the school teacher?
She and Billy Hanley are engaged to be married. Supposed to be a passenger.
He's dead. They get it all.
I can't figure why they'd do a thing like that. Just shoot down an innocent passenger.
He wasn't even wearing a gun.
And why did Billy have the boxes inside instead of in the boot?
They're heavy. Maybe too heavy to lift up there.
Yeah. What do you think, Wyatt?
There's no use wondering about him. Wait until we can talk to Billy.
But if we can't, if Doc can't save him.
We'll have to find out some other way.
Marshal, how is he? Isn't...
No, ma'am. No, the doc says he's got a good chance.
Oh, can I see him?
Well, I think we better wait until the doc comes out. He's in there with Billy now.
Oh, yes, of course. Does anyone know why it happened?
No, why is easy. There was $5,000 on that stage.
Oh, I knew something like this would happen. Doctor.
Calm down, Miss Nancy. He's going to be as good as new.
Can I see him?
Oh, only for a minute. We mustn't tire him.
I better go in first.
You?
Well, I got some questions I want to ask him that are important. That is, if you want me to catch whoever shot him.
Oh, yes, of course, Marshal, but couldn't I go in with you? I wouldn't interfere with your questions, I assure you, and I could look at him.
All right.
Oh, Billy, darling.
Don't.
Careful, Miss Nancy. That wound's painful.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling.
Marshal.
I'll make it brief, Billy. Did you see who did it?
Yes. It was 3 men.
Did you recognize them?
That's why they shot me. They were wearing masks, but one of them was Esteban Marengo.
How do you know for sure?
He had an accent. He looked Mexican. Besides, I saw Esteban back at the relay station at Rock Springs. Him and 2 other men. They were the same men.
There, Marshal. What more do you need?
Billy, if they were wearing masks, how did they know you recognized them? Why did they shoot you and the passenger?
Well, so as to take no chances, I guess.
Where did they stop you?
Sandy Crossing.
Your horses ran loose all that way?
I drove them part of the way, and I passed out, I guess.
Marshal, do you have to ask all these questions?
I'll talk to you later.
Marshal, can I have my gun?
Why?
Oh, they tried to kill me once.
Here? Oh, I don't think so, Billy.
Billy, they'd never try it here. Besides, there's no need now.
No need?
The marshal knows all you can tell him. They'd never try to kill you now. Oh, you have nothing to worry about. Dr. McCarty and I will stay here with you and take care of you while the marshal goes out after the man who shot you. Who is he, Marshal?
Esteban Marengo. He's a Mexican that's been around here for a while, working on freighters in and out of trouble.
Well, he's in real trouble now.
Have to catch him first.
Well, buenos dias, señorita. ¿Cómo está?
Bien. We're close here.
Closed. Looks like I'm just in time for dinner.
I did not expect customers. There's not enough.
Where's the stage man?
¿Quién sabe? The stage is not due until tomorrow.
And you're all alone? Who's the other dinner for?
It is none of your business, Senor Marshal.
Might be. Do you know a man by the name of Esteban Marengo? Do you?
No.
Has he ever been here?
How do I know if I don't know him?
This afternoon when the stage came in, was there a Mexican man here?
No.
There's none here now. You always eat 2 plates of enchiladas?
See, when I am hungry. Ándale, ándale, es la policía, vete.
No, I do not go.
Oh, por favor.
Be quiet. I do not run away from the policia. Tell me, Senor Marshal, what do you want with me?
I want to take you into Dodge City for some questioning.
I know about questioning. I don't know you take me to Dodge.
You've been identified as one of 3 men who robbed a stage and killed a man.
Who say this?
Stage driver, Billy Hanley.
He lies.
See, he lies.
Would I be here sitting down to eat if I robbed the stage? No, I'd be on my way to Mexico. There was time, Senor Marshal, when you was right to come for me. But this time, no, you do not arrest me. You make one move and I kill you.
Were you here when the stage came through?
See? Why not?
Were 2 other men here?
Senor Cassidy and his brother.
Sam Cassidy?
He has a ranch near here.
Yeah, I know. South.
Senor Marshal, I tell the truth. I do not rob this stage. Billy lies.
Well, maybe Billy made a mistake. What'd you do after the stage left?
Nothing.
See, you fix wagon for Senor Cassidy.
Oh, see. His axle was broke.
Well, that must have taken a while, huh?
Maybe 2-3 hours.
Esteban, you have an alibi. Now, you willing to ride down to Cassidy's ranch with me and verify it?
See, but not to Dodge.
No, not if it checks out. Come on.
Quiet, quiet. Somebody shot Billy. He's dead.
We should have listened to him. He was scared. There was something he wanted to do. I went out a few minutes and left him with Miss Nancy. They must have been watching outside that window.
Oh, if only I'd turned around. I thought I heard something.
No, Miss Nancy, you mustn't blame yourself. You nearly got shot as it was. Bullet nicked the sleeve of her dress. She was sitting right close there beside him.
I'm sorry, Miss Nancy.
Oh, he tried to tell us. But I suppose you had no more reason to believe him than we did.
I looked outside, Wyatt. No footprints. The ground's too hard, but I did find this little cartridge shell.
41 Derringer.
It was a Derringer that killed the passenger, too. And got Billy the first time. Same gun, probably.
Oh, Marshal, you've got to get that man. He must be dangerous to do a thing so terrible.
I never did like that Esteban Marengo.
It wasn't Esteban. He was with me when it happened.
Then his Confederates.
He had no Confederates. He had nothing to do with the robbery or this. Either Billy was mistaken or
What?
Billy sent me out there in a wild goose chase.
Why?
You can't think Billy had anything to do with the robbery.
He might have. If he lied, he must have.
You mean he sent you out there in a wild goose chase so he could be shot and killed?
That's true, Wyatt.
Well, that part's a puzzle. But suppose he had been double-crossed by his pals. He might still have hoped to get part of that loot somehow.
Oh, you know he wasn't that kind of a man.
No, why would Billy want a hold of a stagecoach?
Well, he wasn't rich. He was about to get married. $5,000 would have set him up for life.
can you cast such a stigma on the memory of a dear dead boy who can't defend himself?
Miss Nancy, a crime has been committed. I've got to get at the facts. Whatever they are, whoever they hurt. Now, they might implicate Billy, but on the other hand, they may clear him, too.
I hope before you cast public suspicion on him, you get positive proof.
That's my job, Miss Nancy. Howdy, Miss Nancy.
Marshal,
What are you doing out here?
that's my usual way home from school.
Well, then you've decided to stay here in Dodge after all, huh?
No, I couldn't. There are too many memories.
I understand.
Have you found anything out yet, Marshal?
No? Didn't find anything at Sandy Crossing. Didn't even find a sign that the stage had stopped there.
Maybe you were too hasty in eliminating the Mexican.
No, I don't think so. You, come by here about the same time every afternoon?
Yes.
Sometime you see the stage?
Yes, sometimes.
You didn't see it the other afternoon?
No, no. It was either a little early or a little late. I don't know which. Billy would always wave.
I'm sorry. I have to ask questions because I don't have any clues. I'm up a blind alley.
Yes, I'm sorry, too, Marshal.
U.S. Mint, San Francisco.
I tell you, Billy's record was perfect. I'd have trusted him with my life. Especially when he got engaged to Miss Nancy. She's perfect.
You sound like you were in love with her yourself.
Well, every man in town is a little. She's such a sweet, pretty little thing. Like today, a pathetic thing.
What?
That package came for her on the stage from San Francisco. Got damaged a little, and you can see what it is. New dress. Part of her wedding things, I suppose.
Looks expensive, but since when do they start wearing black wedding dresses with spangles?
Probably for parties when they went back east. Who knows? Anyways, I just can't bring myself to deliver it to her.
Well, I'll take it to her. I want to ask her some questions anyway.
Oh? About Billy?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be obliged to you if you would take it. But there's $2 extra express charges due on it. You want to collect it?
Well,
Well, never mind. I'll waive it. It's the least I can do for her.
see you later.
Marshal, come in.
Thank you.
There's one Billy left here. He was very proud of his whips. He made them himself. What brings you here, Marshal?
Well, his package came for you today from San Francisco. I happened to be over at the express company. He was coming out here anyway. It's quite a fancy dress.
It was intended for my trousseau. I won't need it now.
Aren't you going to open it?
Not right now.
If it's damaged, the express company would like to know about it.
I'll let them know if it is.
I thought women were supposed to be curious.
I'm not. Why are you?
Well, that dress doesn't look much like little Miss Nancy, schoolteacher.
It wasn't intended to. It was for my honeymoon, for my husband. That's why I don't want to open it now. I'd like to know, Marshal, what it is you're thinking. What you're insinuating.
Nothing, Miss Nancy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
But you have. And I don't understand why. First you suspect Billy, and now it seems me of what I don't know.
It's only that I'm trying to find any kind of a clue. Anything that would seem strange.
Well, I don't see how my buying a new dress, especially since it was bought weeks ago for my trousseau, could seem strange.
No, I guess not.
Now, please, go. Oh, wait. There's money due on this. I'll get it for you.
It's not necessary.
I always pay my debts. Here.
I'm sorry.
What? You deliver it?
Yeah.
She took it pretty hard, huh? I was afraid she would.
Well, I guess I wasn't as diplomatic as I could have been.
I wouldn't have been either. You asked for it. But thanks.
Wait a minute, Chief. Paid me the express due. Here. Hey, wait a minute. Let me see that.
These are shiny new.
Yeah. They're dated this year. They must have been put in circulation just in the last couple of weeks.
Wyatt, this is part of the loot?
Must be.
But how did Miss Nancy come to have them?
That's what I'd like to know.
She must have gotten them from the robbers somehow.
Either that or she and Billy.
Oh, Wyatt, I can't believe that.
But it's possible.
Well, that would mean that she killed Billy.
Well, she could have. She could have gone outside, shot him through the window, come back inside before the doc got there.
But the bullet tear in her sleeve.
Well, she could have done that herself. We didn't look at it too closely, you know.
Oh, Wyatt. It's also possible that she came by these coins honestly. It's been 3 days since the holdup.
Yeah. It's possible, but I'm going to have to find out.
I didn't know you were in the habit of breaking in on a lady's privacy.
I see you changed your mind about wearing the dress.
Yes. How do I look?
Well, different anyway.
More like I belong south of the dead line in one of those dance halls? Go on, Marshal. You can say yes. I won't be insulted. I'll be complimented. Because I'm a woman, just like them. And I like everything about being a woman. And I'm sick to death of playing the prim little paragon of virtue. Do you know what it's like to be a school teacher? Why don't you say something? Aren't you shocked?
No. I'm just surprised that you forgot Billy so soon.
This has nothing to do with Billy. You said yourself no woman can resist a new dress.
Well, that's not the kind of a dress that a husband usually approves of, even on a honeymoon. Of course, maybe you never even planned to go on a honeymoon.
What do you mean?
You gave me this a little while ago. It's brand new, shiny. Where'd you get it?
I don't know. Why?
Because it's part of the money that was stolen off the stage.
How do you know that?
I know. That's enough. Now, where'd you get it?
Well, of course, I got it from the collection. The collection they took up to help with Billy's funeral expenses.
Now, I'll tell you a story. You and Billy planned that hold-up together. You met him out there on the road with your buckboard. And Billy pulled the stage up. One of you killed the passenger before he knew what was happening, so he couldn't identify you. Billy helped transfer the money over to the buckboard. Then you had no more use for Billy. If you had shot straight, he might never have been found out.
You're mad. Don't you think Billy would have told you in the doctor's office if I'd shot him?
He was almost scared enough. But he must have had a reason not to. Maybe he thought he still might get part of the loot. Or maybe he was really in love with you. Wouldn't have turned you in if it meant his death. At any rate, it did mean his death.
I suppose I did that?
Yes. He acted loving and remorseful until he was lulled to sleep. Then you went outside and shot him through the window and came back before the doc did.
Oh, it's preposterous.
Well, like I say, it's just a story. Now, which one do you want to believe?
You could never prove yours in a million years.
I could if I could find 5,000 more of these around your house here someplace. I think I can. Because I don't think you ever thought that you'd ever be under suspicion.
Wyatt, look at me. Am I pretty? Well, am I?
Yes.
Listen to me, Wyatt. I never loved Billy. He was just a kid. But you're a man, and I've always admired you. If your story was true, if I did have that money, you and I could go a long way together. Go back east, Europe, maybe. We'd have a lot of fun. It could be heaven, Wyatt.
Miss Nancy, you already have a date with the jury. I think we better go.
In this dress?
Does it matter?
Yes. Do you think I'd stand a chance with your good folks if they saw me in this? Let me change.
All right. But don't try to get away. You wouldn't make it.
I won't. Don't worry. Don't turn around yet. I have a gun.
A Derringer?
Yes, the same one. Now put your hands up, please.
It's kind of stupid of me to forget about it, wasn't it?
This was careless. You gave me my life, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry I can't return the favor. I know you're very good with a gun, but mine's out, and you know I can use it.
Yes, I know.
So don't try to draw. Just turn around, slowly.
Oh, aren't you going to shoot me in the back?
It wouldn't fit in with my story.
And what will your story be?
That I was about to retire, heard an intruder, shot before I saw it was you. No one will suspect, dear Miss Nancy. Everyone will sympathize.
You're quite an actress, aren't you?
I'll have to be a little while longer, but then I'll be gone with the money. And I won't have to pretend ever again. Now turn around slowly and keep your hands up.
I'm sorry. I hate to hurt a lady. Now, come on.
Why,
Look,
please.
if you wanted excitement and fun, you should have stuck to school teaching. It's a lot more exciting than where you're going to have to go. Prison. Come on. Wyatt Earp had 4 brothers. His younger brother, Morgan, and older brother, Virgil, were now to play more active roles in his life. Later in Tombstone, they fought side by side against hoodlums who called themselves cowboys. But to Virgil Earp, Wyatt was just his younger brother who had to be protected from bad men and bad women.
And Larry's family doesn't approve of me. They wouldn't approve of any divorcee. The grass widow just naturally has to be immoral.
That's old-fashioned. Divorce wasn't your fault. Your husband was a drunkard, and he deserted you.
All that happened back in Illinois 50 years ago, it seems like.
You've told all this to Larry Herrick, haven't you?
Of course. And I think he believes me, but his family doesn't. I can just hear his mother talk. She's just Susan Dodd from little old Monmouth, Illinois, and nobody from nowhere.
Well, they better not let me hear them say that. Us Earps are from Monmouth, too, you know. Look, if Larry's family's going to give you a lot of trouble, why don't you just tell Larry to find himself another gal?
I'm afraid I'm in love with him.
Real bad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think this is the time to show it.
What do you mean?
Well, you're going to have to help him make up his mind about you. You want to make him a little jealous.
Jealous?
Well, sure. You go out with me one evening, you go out with Mr. Masterson the next.
You're very sweet, Wyatt, but I can't play the flirt.
Oh, yes, you can.
You found me out.
Oh! Hey, ain't you the one put our girlfriends off last trip and made them walk a mile into town?
He sure is. Climb down.
And what's this left? That's her.
Looks like her. Wearing a mustache.
Let's go find out.
Howdy, Marshal.
Howdy. You better check those guns.
Oh,
Check guns. Right away. Yes, sir, Marshal. Come on, sir. Thank you, Marshal.
My little brother seems to have things here well in hand.
He sure has, Mr. Earp. And I wouldn't say he's your little brother. He's as big as you are.
Well, I'll have to be careful then. Little brother might just shoot my ears off.
Yeah, he might.
Virgil! Hello, Virgil.
Bat Masterson?
Yeah, I grew up. Well, White's got your room across from his over at the Dodge Hop.
Good.
He'd have come to meet you himself, but there's a shooting at the Long Branch.
Hey, Pat, I'm glad you're here. I want to ask your advice about something. It's a family matter.
Oh?
I understand Susan Pritchett's in town.
Well, it's Susan Dodd now. She took back her maiden name.
Oh?
Hey, an old married man like you interested in Miss Susan?
Why, no, Pat, it's nothing like that.
No, drunks. They might hit a horse.
Can Wyatt make those barkeeps ration their whiskey?
Well, he tries.
Wyatt ain't drinking.
Oh, about 2 quarts a day.
2 quarts?
Milk.
I guess I asked for that.
Well, here it is, the mayor's office.
Well, this is where she works, according to Larry.
Yes, gentlemen?
Are you Miss Susan Dodd?
That's right.
I'm Larry's cousin, Mel, and this is his uncle, Webb Herrick.
How do you do?
How do you do? Is Larry in town?
No, ma'am. He's riding to the railhead.
Be in town tomorrow sometime.
Well, that's a relief. You both look so solemn, I thought, won't you sit down?
No, thank you. Larry just asked us to drop by and pay our respects, ma'am.
And to tell you that he's in good health.
Yes. In good health.
You know what I think? I think Larry's folks asked you to look me over. Well, I'm 5 feet 3 inches tall, I weigh 112 pounds, I have brown hair and blue eyes, and I'm a divorcee.
And right plain spoken.
And if I need a character witness, I suggest you ask Marshal Earp. We came from the same town in Illinois.
Whoa now, Miss Susan. Larry's already told the family he wants to marry you.
Yes. We didn't apply for the duty.
Family orders, ma'am.
All right, you've looked me over. Now what?
Well, we'll report back to Larry's folks.
Don't bother. I've changed my mind.
Huh?
I'm going to tell Larry it's all off.
I never butted into Wyatt's affairs before, but Susan did ride people in Monmouth. She was setting her cap for him. They rode our folks in San Bernardino, and, well, Mama told me off to look into this.
Oh, you got it all wrong. She's engaged.
Oh?
Yeah, a fellow by the name of Larry Herrick. Fine Texas family. Listen, I wouldn't say anything to Wyatt if I were you. Make him sore.
Say anything? I've been worrying about what to say and how to say it all the way from California. Mr. Masterson, I will buy you a drink.
Wait. You wear this.
That's against the law, isn't it?
You're an ERP. In Dodge City, you need a gun. Life insurance.
Wyatt! Yoo-hoo!
Howdy, Miss Susan.
Are you awfully busy?
Nope, I was just on my way over to the Dodge house to see if my big brother Virgil got in yet.
Virgil's visiting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I've always liked Virgil and that sweet girl he married. Wyatt, I told Larry's cousin and his uncle I'm not going to marry him.
You did?
The two of them came to look me over.
Well, some people are stupid about family pride.
You think I did right?
Miss Susan, if Larry is any kind of a man at all, he won't pay any attention to the Herrick's family prattle.
I still say, why couldn't we have fallen in love?
Well, I love you.
Ah.
Yes, I do. Love you like a big brother.
The Herricks?
Larry's kinfolk. Watch yourself.
Since when did Wyatt Earp start wearing a mustache?
That ain't Wyatt.
Almost fooled me.
Fooled me, too. It's his brother Virgil.
Yeah, he's joshing. Come on. Marshal Earp?
No, sir.
Barkeep was right. You're his brother Virgil, huh?
Correct. You, sir?
Webb Herrick. This is Mel Herrick.
Howdy.
Howdy.
You know Bat Masterson?
Sure.
Hello, Bat.
Hello? Join us in a drink?
I think not. You and Wyatt have been sparking Miss Dodd while Larry's away.
That any business of yours?
No. I had some wrong ideas, too. Now, let's get this thing straightened out.
The truth ain't in your brother, and maybe not in you.
How don't you say that about Wyatt?
Look out, Virgil!
Bubba! Virgil. Yeah, I'm sorry it had to be this kind of a welcome.
My own fault. I shot him, Marshal.
No, it wasn't his fault. Mel Herrick called you a liar. Virgil clouded him, then Webb tried to draw.
All right, Mr. Masterson. You take care of him. We'll go on over to the office. I guess I can trust you to come peacefully. Susan tried to be a good wife to Bud Pritchett, but he hit the bottle, ran off with another woman. Now, why should Susan be punished for that?
Well, you can't change public opinion overnight.
But you don't have to join it.
You seem mighty riled, brother.
Well, of course I'm riled. Webb and Mel badgered Susan into calling off her engagement. Now, where does that leave Susan?
Maybe she'd like to marry you.
What? Virgil. Did the folks send you here?
Well, no, Wyatt. Not exactly. You see, I'm to meet Morgan in Omaha, and I just thought I'd stop by.
No, you didn't. You came here to save me from a wicked girl, didn't you?
I did not. Well, hang it all, Wyatt. You and Morgan are my younger brothers.
Oh, we're babies, huh?
Look, Wyatt, let's just call off the war, huh?
You can't call off the war. You got a passel of hotheads after us.
That's my fault, I suppose.
Yes, you shot Webb Herrick.
Well, I was sticking up for you.
That's just the point, Virgil. You don't have to stick up for me. I can fight my own fights. I'm a big boy now.
Well, go ahead, marry Susan for all of me.
Well, maybe I will.
Now, look, Wyatt, I didn't want to come here in the first place, but Mama was crying and Dad was glum, and, well, the pressure got to be too much for me, but you go ahead and you be a big boy.
Hold on, will you?
Oh, you talk to the idiot. I'm through.
Now, stop that. Both of you have to stop it. There's going to be a little war when Larry Herrick gets into town. You want Virgil caught in a gunfight all by his lonesome?
No.
Well, then tell him you're sorry. and make him a deputy marshal.
A deputy?
Yeah, snap out of it, Deacon. We went through the same thing when Morgan was in town. Eddie Earp has to wear a star when he's around you.
I'll talk to Verge.
Why, Virgil Earp, Wyatt told me you were coming.
Miss Susan, I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused.
What's happened?
Well, I had to gun a fella. Name of Herrick.
Not Larry.
No, his Uncle Webb. A shoulder wound.
Well, that is a relief. More trouble?
I had a row with Wyatt.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything. You Earp boys were always fighting, I remember.
Please. You in love with Wyatt?
No.
Then you ain't gonna marry him.
Why, he hasn't asked me.
What if he asked you?
He wouldn't do that. And even if he did, there's Larry. I think I love him. But if Wyatt should ever ask me...
Susan, you're a born flirt.
I guess I am.
Only you're in Dodge City now, and flirting can mean bloodshed here. You don't want that.
Oh, no, Virgil. Just say the word and I'll leave town before Larry gets here.
That wouldn't solve anything. I'm just asking you to make up your mind.
It'll depend on what Larry says. His folks don't approve of me, and Larry may not want me now.
I think he'll want you. Just quit teasing Wyatt. Quit working on his sympathy.
Does Wyatt feel sorry for me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy with a man who pitied me.
No, I don't think you would.
All right, Virgil. No more flirting, I promise.
Good girl. Thank you. Bye.
It ain't Wyatt Earp that's mixed up with her. It's his brother, Virgil. And not only that, when Mel and Webb called Virgil on it, he slugged Mel and shot Webb.
All right, mister.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that no-good brother of yours. Married man carrying on.
You're a liar. You want to fight it out with me or apologize to Virgil?
We'll fight it out.
Right here.
Yeah, take off those guns.
I'd be glad to, mister.
Hey, wait a minute, fellas. Now, cut that out, will you? Come on. Hey, Jim, you know better than that. Come on. Get him! Get him in there! Get him in there! Get him in there now! That out, will you? Come on. Come on. Get him in there now!
No guns! Well, what are you doing here, Mr. Masterson?
No use breaking your knuckles. Touch that gun and I'll drop you.
Hey, big brother. Aren't you getting kind of old for a fist fight?
Well, that's gratitude for you. I save you from a beating and you talk smart.
Hey, why don't you go on upstairs and put some arnica on your face?
Well, thank you, Mr. Masterson. You know, you got here just in time.
What's that fight about, anyway?
Well, that blabbermouth cowhand said that a certain young lady was your girl.
Susan?
You got in a fight with the Herricks, didn't you? Well, that's the way certain cowhands think. Here. You better put this on.
Star? What for?
Well, I had to give one to Morgan when he was here. It's opening season on Earps.
All right. Say, that cowhand that started the fight, is he a Herrick man?
I don't know.
That gossip about Susan and me must be all over town.
Sure. You're a moral leper.
That's not funny. I'm a happily married man. Hey, we got to set Larry Herrick straight.
He'll be coming after me first. Come on in.
Larry Herrick just got into town. Stopped over at the mayor's office.
Oh? Well, let's wait and see what Miss Susan can do with Larry. I think he's in love with her and that he'll believe what she says.
Now then, Larry, if you want to yell at me, we won't be interrupted by taxpayers.
Have you been seeing Wyatt Earp?
Of course.
Bat Masterson?
2 or 3 times.
What about Virgil Earp?
I talked to him once.
Did you know him back in Illinois?
Oh, Larry, don't be ridiculous. The Earps are old friends, and Bat's just a kid.
There have been 2 fights over you, and my Uncle Webb got his shoulder smashed.
Well, they weren't fighting over me.
I heard different. I heard...
Oh, sure, that I'm a liar and a no-good divorcee. And your folks told you to drop me cold. Well, I've had about enough of the Herricks.
Susan, honey.
Don't Susan honey me. I wouldn't marry you now for $10 million. Now get out of here.
Then it's true. There's another man.
Yes.
Who is he?
That's for you to find out.
Isn't Virgil Earp married?
That's none of your business. Now you get out of here.
I'm going to make this my business.
Larry, please.
Check your gun.
Sure.
Did you talk to her? It's a married one, ain't it?
Virgil.
She admit that?
No. But the main reason I know it's Virgil, she was ashamed to call him by name.
Well, anyway, you found out in time.
You gun him, Larry. I'll help you.
Hold on. Just sit down. I ain't satisfied it is Virgil. I'm going to ask him point blank and right to his face.
We already had one fight with him, Uncle Webb.
I won't be armed this time.
You're taking a big chance leaving your brother alone at the hotel.
I want to wait and hear from Miss Susan before we mount the guard. We'd look awful silly, wouldn't we, if Susan has decided to run off to Texas with Larry Herrick?
Susan. You know, I used to be the setup for pretty women. You're the easy mark now.
Well, I feel sorry for all women, Mr. Masterson. Good Lord gave them a tough row to hoe.
Amen, Deacon. Amen.
What?
Webb Herrick, Mr. Earp.
I'm not armed.
Sorry to doubt your word, Mr. Herrick. Sit down. Well?
Larry thinks you're Susan's lover. I think Wyatt is the man.
Is that so?
Wyatt has his deputies in Bat Masterson. I doubt if Larry'd have the sand to go after him. But he and the boys would sure gun you.
I suppose it's no use trying to convince you that Susan is a decent girl.
A divorcee? I'm giving you a chance to name Wyatt.
My brother is not involved with Susan.
Meaning you are?
You know, if he wants to gun somebody, Mr. Herrick, then I'm his man.
All right. You deserve killing.
And I tried to make Larry be sensible, but he's crazy jealous.
He must be to be going after Virgil. Now, you stay here. You might see something you won't want to watch. and your men are wearing guns. Now you throw them down and make a fight.
It's your brother we want. He's admitted he's the man.
Wyatt, you keep out of this.
For you.
Well, big brother, at least you didn't kill him.
Oh, Larry, your poor hand. Those Earps, they never were anything but nasty, brawling hoodlums. We're going straight to Dr. McCarty. You should be ashamed.
Here you go, Jonesy. You give my best to Morgan, huh?
I will. Now, Wyatt, will you promise me to quit feeling sorry for women?
I'll do that, big brother. And when you get to Omaha, you write Mother and tell her that I'm safe.
Yeah, I'll do that. Take care, Wyatt.
Right.
Have a good trip. Oh, Wyatt.
With 45s among bad-tempered cowhands. But the deadliest fighting on the frontier of 1879 usually started with a dispute between two towns for the honor of being designated the county seat. Dodge City had been named capital of Ford County, Kansas, but Fort Dodge, only 6 miles away, asked why should a wicked town like Dodge be the county seat? Besides, the residents of Fort Dodge were desperate for another reason.
There you have it, in black and white.
Pooh. Washington's always changing its mind.
The Army's got to economize. There just won't be nothing to Fort Dodge but a keep house party and a name.
I thought you had this all fixed, Mr. Granger.
I'm surprised at you, Judge Franklin. My father did everything he could to keep this fort open.
Now, there's no use squabbling over something that's finished and done with. I've called a meeting for this afternoon. You have some new idea, Talkie? Just come to the meeting. All right, I will. And I say Fort Dodge should be the county seat. Instead, we've let Dodge City hold squatters' rights.
You're right.
The people of Ford County never did vote to make that miserable town their capital.
No.
Are you going to let Dodge City get away with calling itself the high monkey monk town of our county? No. Good. Good. We'll ask the governor to hold an honest election. You head the delegation, Judge Franklin.
Thank you, Mr. Granger. I'll do just that.
Collect as many more signatures for the governor as you can before the stage leaves.
And don't talk to any Dodge City men.
Judge Franklin knows that. Yes, Chickie?
I know Wyatt Earp.
Him? Huh. He's hand in glove with Kelly and Judge Tobin. You keep out of it, Edna. A political fight's no place for you.
And if we don't win it, Fort Dodge will be a ghost city and we'll have to move on.
Soldiers headed this way. Go wait on them.
You wait on him. I'm going to Dodge City.
Edna, I forbid you having anything to do with Wyatt Earp. You've made eyes at him every time we went over there. You're old enough to have some pride.
Pride? We're broke and we're in debt.
And I knew Tarky Granger in the Army. He's a born politician.
Hold on, Jim. You're assuming that he'll try to get a special election.
What else? They can't just build a courthouse at Fort Dodge and say, we're the county seat. Am I right now, Wyatt?
Yes, sir.
You hear Wyatt? He knows it'll be a political play.
But I can't head him off in Topeka. The governor knows I backed Milliken in the primary.
Well, you're the best man we've got, sir. There's only a quarter of an hour to catch that train.
Oh, all right.
Howdy, Miss Edna.
Guess they heard about it in Dodge.
Yeah, they sure did.
What do you think?
Well, if they want to call a special election, they sure can do it.
Does that mean you're against us?
Miss Edna, I seldom mess around in politics.
Papa's right, you know. Dodge City isn't morally fit to be capital of Ford County.
A dirty, nasty, wicked town.
That's the truth, and you know it. What'll people say later on? Fort Dodge can start with a clean slate. This place is a disgrace to Kansas.
Miss Edna,
Yes, sir?
did your daddy send you over here?
Of course not. He tried to stop me.
Why'd you come?
Pa says I got a girly crush on you. But that's not why I came. We have to find out what Dodge City folks plan to do about the election. Gotta know so we can plan our campaign. What's funny? Well, I don't see what's so funny.
Well, you're telling me the truth. You see, politicians, they very seldom do that.
We're not politicians. We're home folk.
All right, no more joking. Miss Edna, in my opinion, I think Fort Dodge has a very good chance of becoming the county seat.
There.
But not if you try any shenanigans. No, it's got to be strictly honest.
Do you think we cheat?
Well, not you, Miss Edna, but, well, those political fellas, you warn your daddy, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll tell Papa. Wyatt, won't you be on our side?
No, I'm going to have to stick with Dodge.
Why?
It's kind of simple, Miss Edna. If Dodge City is too wicked to become the county seat, it's kind of my fault because, well, they hired me to clean up this town.
Papa'll win you over. And if he can't, I'll sure try. Now, don't you laugh. I can be girly-girly.
No, you stay just the way you are, huh? and look, let's both stay out of politics, huh? Now, you go on, scoot home.
Stranger, I'm Smalley Dunbar. This is Dave Rickard.
Howdy. Howdy.
We both kind of fool with politics in Dodge.
Just the men I want to see. Come inside.
Well, the first thing we've got to do is take them records from Kelly's office. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Besides, Kelly's got a list of the voters.
Stealing records from now on.
We'll take care of it. This is frontier politics, Mr. Granger.
You can't win the election without the list of registered voters. We have to add a lot of cowhands and maybe some dead men.
I don't like it.
Nobody likes it. The point is, do you want Fort Dodge to be a ghost town or the county seat? We can swing a couple of hundred votes from below the line in Dodge, but that won't be enough, Mr. Granger.
All the voters outside of Dodge, the rest of Ford County.
Still not enough. We thought you wanted to win this election. But I guess we're wasting our time. Come on, Dave.
No, wait. Kelly and his people have cut a few corners. I reckon we'll have to do the same thing.
Now you're talking. Politics, Mr. Granger, politics. Well, let's drink to it. Dave, keep an eye on the front door. I'll break in the back.
Right.
That does that. Hal, see that these get out first thing in the morning, will you?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to turn in. You and Hank split the dog watch.
Right. Sure is quiet tonight, isn't it?
That's the way I like it. Hal. There's a man standing in front of Mayor Kelly's office. The wagon just turned the corner.
I'll take a look.
No. Let's give him time. Let's go out the back door.
Dave. You gonna take all night? I got the voters' books and the tax books. We have them police record and we'll get out of here.
Time to jump 'em?
No. That Smiley Dunbar, he's probably working for the people over at Fort Dodge.
I bet they're making off with the record books.
I know. I want him to pull this job. You can get your horse and follow him. Don't let him see you.
Come in here. I want you to see this. Look at that. Robbed, stolen, all cleaned out. All the city and the county records gone. Look at it. Just look at it.
I know, Mr. Mayor.
You know? What do you mean you know?
Well, Hal and I saw the whole thing last night.
You saw it and you let him get away with it?
Yes, sir.
Why on earth would you...
Mr. Kelly, Hal trailed him to Granger's store at Fort Dodge.
Tarky Granger. Fort Dodge. It's a dirty political trick. Well, why are you wasting time? Get a posse and hit them quick. Shoot them down. Crack their skulls. But you get those records. That's an official order.
All right. If you want Fort Dodge to win.
I want them in jail. What is this now? Fort Dodge winning.
Well, they made a bad move, Your Honor. Next, they'll try to doctor the voting books.
Then we just let them, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then we let them stuff the ballot boxes.
What? Oh. And then we nab them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'll teach them to get into a political fight with Jim Kelly. Well, what if they hide the books?
Well...
Excuse me, Wyatt. Miss Edna Granger wants to see you at the Dodge House.
Thank you. Miss Granger might give us an insurance policy on those books.
No,
Now, Mayor...
Thank the good Lord they didn't get everything. Oh. It's a bad, nasty mess, Judge Tobin. What luck did you have in Topeka?
None. The governor's ordered a special election for Saturday.
Nah. They'll steal it just like they stole the books.
Dodge City outnumbers them 5-1, Jim.
Not with Smiley Dunbar and those hoodlum votes below the line. They'll all go to Granger and his crowd.
Civic pride will keep them from voting to change the county seat.
Civic pride, is it? They want a wide open town and no marshal like Wyatt. They'll move to Fort Dodge lock, stock, and barrel. Well, now, how's Miss Edna and our insurance policy?
He's talking about Mr. Granger's daughter, Judge. She doesn't favor robbery.
I suppose she'd be turning against her own father.
No, sir. If her father's involved, she'll try to save him. Any action in Topeka, sir?
Against us. The whole county will have to vote.
Saturday.
That's short notice. Well, get your high silk hat, Mr. Mayor. We better start campaigning.
You tour the county until Friday night. Then make your big speech in Dodge.
Kelly and Earp are too quiet.
Well, what have they got to shout about?
It's too good to be true.
Well, you ask Dave. There wasn't a Johnny Law in sight. We're in, Mr. Granger. Those county records we got hold the election.
Yes, I reckon. Edna, perhaps you'd better.
Sure. Howdy, Miss Edna.
You see Earp?
Yes. Wyatt was kind of worried. Seems someone broke into the mayor's office last night. Took all their record books.
That's no crime. It's got to be something valuable.
Breaking into a place is a crime.
Forget it, Chickie. Let Earp worry. He's being paid for that. Now, you go into the store and pack me some grub. I'm hitting the speaking trail for votes.
How long?
Be back Saturday morning. That's election day. And the fort's polling place will be here.
I'll need the key to the safe, won't I?
Key? No. There's money enough for change in the cash drawer.
All right, Papa. You always left the key with me before. That's why I asked.
And I say to you, my friends, that Dodge City was ordained by the good Lord to be the metropolis of Ford County. If the seat of county government is moved to Fort Dodge, grass will grow in the streets of our town.
Yeah. If Fort Dodge wins the election, we'll soon have a bigger and a better Dodge City.
Hey!
And we won't have Wyatt Earp as marshal. And we won't have Jim Kelly as mayor. We won't have those three hypocrites, Tobin, Kelly, and Earp.
How's the record books in his safe? You wouldn't trust me with the key, but I know how to get into it. When are you coming over?
Tomorrow after the election.
Why not today, right now?
I want the ballot box.
Well, that's not fair. You could get Papa into worse trouble.
No, we can save you, Papa. If you'll help.
Is that a promise?
Yeah.
Thanks, Wyatt. I'm still in love.
Wow. First time I've ever heard of a mourner's bench before the election.
Granger got the crowds, here and all over the county.
Looks bad, Wyatt.
They don't even have to steal this election.
Well, Smiley Dunbar and his crowd wouldn't be happy unless they stole it. Hal, let's just make sure that all our votes are honest, huh?
Wyatt, you're not suggesting that I would stoop to dirty politics.
Well, it is a big temptation, Your Honor.
Don't josh him, Wyatt. If they win, Dodge City will be the ghost town.
I'm sorry. Oh, Hal, I'll need 10 special deputies tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
10? You'll need 24 just to guard the polling place at the fort.
Judge, I think you and Mr. Kelly are plumb tuckered out. Now, why don't you just let me handle the police work, huh?
He's right, Jim.
Well, just tell us one thing. Are you going to get back the county records?
Yes, sir. And the Fort Dodge ballot box, too.
Well, it's in your hands, Wyatt. Come along, Jim. Busy day tomorrow.
Now, don't miss, Wyatt. It means your job and my job and the finish of Dodge City.
Now, the polls close at 7. That gives us a half an hour of daylight. I'm going into Fort Dodge with the peddler's wagon and the fastest team of quarter horses that Chalk Beeson has.
No posse?
Yes. You leave town here with the boys at 7. If I get in any trouble, there'll be gunfire. You just head for the sound of guns.
Jim Knowlton. Friend, if you want to read the fine print, step inside. We're in a hurry. Howdy, Big T.
Hi,
Judge. Hi, Judge. Glad you could make it.
Just a moment, Judge. Are these men residents of Fort Dodge?
Lived here all their lives.
Sorry, but we need their names and registrations.
Lock them in a storeroom, boys. We're busy with an election.
Now, does anybody else have any suggestions? I've had enough.
You can't do anything until Wyatt comes. He'd spoil the whole plan.
How did I ever get into this?
You wanted to save Fort Dodge and us, but the wrong politicians took over. Wyatt says it.
Hey, Your Honor, give us a hand. We've got a couple Indians out here that won't vote unless you say it's all right.
Very well.
Well, we got about 900 votes for Fort Dodge. Open up the safe, Mayor Granger.
Hey, what's the meaning of this?
We're going to burn the county record books so they can't trace the phony votes.
Well, that's stupid. If you win, you'll need the county tax records and city police reports.
Who do you think's running this show? You or me?
You're not going to burn these records.
Take care of him, Dave.
Stop it!
You keep out of this. Lock him in the storeroom with the others.
Leave those alone!
Why, you little brat. This. Why, you...
Go lock the door to the store.
But my father, he was...
You'll be all right. Go on. Take the ballot box out to the wagon.
Smiley, open up. Smiley, open up.
You get down from there.
I'm going with you.
We're going to have to make a run for it. Let's go. Come on. Out front, get the horses.
What are you stopping for? They're right behind us.
Get behind those rocks. Come on. Keep your head down. Here, reload that for me. Give me the Winchester.
Why did you kill them?
No need for it. Posse will be coming any minute.
All right, drop your guns. Drop your guns.
The accused will please rise. Mr. Dunbar, Judge Franklin, Mr. Rickard, you're found guilty of election fraud and sentenced to 2 years in the state penitentiary. Mr. Granger.
Yes, Judge?
Your daughter cooperated with Marshal Earp, and you yourself tried to prevent the destruction of valuable records. The court sentences you to 6 months in jail and will stipulate that you be paroled immediately. Adjourned.
This way, come on. You still here? Where's your dad?
He went on over to the hotel. I've been waiting for you. I wanted to thank you.
I think Judge Tobin is the one you want to thank.
Him, too. Wyatt, I don't suppose that you'd ever feel like marrying me.
Well, honey, you see, I'm an old man, but, well, if I was your age, you'd be the first girl I'd ask.
Politician.
What are you going to do?
You hear that mob out there?
You are going to save Herbie.
I don't know. He and Doc started this, right?
Mr. Earp, they had to. Hurley needs the experience. Look, his whole career depends on his learning the real West.
Can't you understand that?
He didn't have to start a riot. Al, you go fetch the prisoner. We'll turn him over to Herb folks.
No. No, I'll go out there myself. They can shoot me.
They're just drunk enough to do that. You cover me. Marshal Earp thought he had Dr. John H. Holliday safely established as a patient in a Colorado sanitarium. Doc needed a rest to cure his lung trouble, and Wyatt needed a rest from Doc and his cantankerous warfare against the respectable citizens of Dodge City. But a greenhorn by the name of Hurley Abbott caused a new battle in the war between Holliday and Dodge, with Wyatt in the middle.
Hurley, stop it! Hurley, get off, please! He's going to throw you and stop you! Hurley, get off! Oh, Hurley, are you hurt? Oh, darling,
I'm all right.
Oh, you wicked...
No, Etta, no. He just didn't want me to ride him.
Come on, honey. Let's get out of the corral.
Others, huh? Well, I've seen enough.
Hugh, Hurley and I are engaged.
No. You're leaving, Mr. Abbott.
Don't you dare hit him.
Easy now, Etta. Mister, there's a train out of Dodge City in about 2 hours. You got just about time to catch it.
I'll leave your property, Mr. Jackson. But I'll stay in Dodge.
That's right, Hurley. And I'll see you in Dodge.
Right.
Uncle George, Hurley's an artist, and he's going to be famous someday. But you just can't understand that. All you know are horses and cattle, and you're just as stupid.
You ain't marrying him. That's final.
Well, we'll see.
Let's not make it any worse, Etta. I'm afraid I couldn't put up much of a fight. Didn't think it would come to this. Still got a lot to learn. I'll learn it.
Marshal Earp?
Yes, sir?
I'm in trouble. Could you spare me a few minutes?
What's the matter? Outlaws chasing you?
I'm green, but not that green. My name's Abbott. Hurley Abbott.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Abbott. Happy to know you. Well, you, selling pictures?
I hope to someday. Right now, I need some advice about fighting.
Oh?
Ned Buntline gave me this note to you.
Ned Buntline, huh? Well, why don't we get out of this sun and win? We'll go inside my office. It's kind of hot in there, too, but at least it's shady.
I'll try off my horse. And so her uncle and her brothers ordered me to leave, which they had a legal right to do. But Etta isn't going to stand for it, and neither am I.
Well, why don't you just elope? Go back east.
It's not that simple, Mr. Earp. You see, I like this western country, and I'm trying to paint it.
Well, there's a lot of country between here and California. Now, why don't you and Miss Etta head west?
Is that what you would do?
Well, I...
Don't be polite, Marshal. I'm not. I can't fight very well with my fists, and, well, I'm clumsy with a gun. I can't even ride a spirited horse.
And I can't draw a good map. You know, Uncle George and the boys, well, they're decent cattlemen, but they're mighty stubborn.
Would you be allowed to teach me how to fight?
No, sir.
Oh. Well, could you recommend anyone? I'm not exactly a starving artist.
Let's think about that for a while. Family quarrels are no good, Mr. Abbott. I mean, even if you learned how to fight, who would you be fighting? You'd be fighting Miss Etta's uncle and her brothers. And my advice is you forget it. home now, not you. Why'd you leave the hospital?
They asked me to leave. Good to get back to my old friends.
Yeah. You know him?
Well, I must have met him somewhere. Oh, this one's Skunky Biggett. He and I had a run-in at the Long Branch doing a card game before I went to the hospital.
All right, book him. Attempted murder.
Come on.
Some of you men give a hand. Take him over to the coroner's office. Mr. Earp.
Is this the great Dr. John H. Holliday?
Yeah, that's right. This is Mr. Hurley Abbott. Claims to be an artist.
Well, now, he is an artist. If you did that top canvas.
Yes, thank you.
Just a rough sketch.
Mr. Abbott, if you'd excuse us, the doctor and I have got a little visiting to do.
Hold on, Wyatt. Abbott, you meet me down at the Long Branch in about 10 minutes. You'll like it. Well, I see Dodge City hasn't changed one iota. Still shooting at invalid doctors of dentistry.
Where's Miss Kate?
Kansas City. Buying clothes.
Say, how's that little boy, Benny? How's he doing?
He's getting well. He has a dozen doctors up there.
Huh?
Interesting type fellow, that artist. He intrigues me.
No, Doc. Please.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Of course, you're no Carl Bodmer or Alfred Jacob Miller. Not yet.
Well, that's not really the point.
Huh?
Misetta's people have warned me not to see her again.
George Jackson and the boys? Quick tempers and slow draws, all of them. Now, you let me take care of your family problems, Abbott. You just paint pictures.
I'm afraid you don't understand. They insist upon a fight. I can't let anyone else take over for me.
You want to kill them?
No. Oh, God forbid. If they come after me with guns, I want to be able to shoot well enough to... I don't know. Disable them, perhaps.
Abbott, I could probably teach you how to kill a man in 6 months of hard practice. But shooting to disable, that'd take several years.
Oh. Well, I think I could learn to be a good fist fighter.
And break your hand so you couldn't hold a paintbrush? No. Now, Marshal Earp and I'll have a talk with the Jacksons. I like this one. Paint it in oil.
Oh. Mr. Earp, have you seen Hurley, Mr. Abbott?
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't take the train.
No, ma'am, I think you'll find him with Dr. Holliday.
Doc Holliday? You mean the notorious outlaw?
Dr. Holliday is an expert on art.
No, not really.
No, not really, but the doctor has taken a fancy to Mr. Abbott.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm afraid that Uncle George and my brothers... I'm sorry to have interrupted your work.
Miss Edith.
Yes.
Look, I think the only sensible thing for you and Mr. Abbott to do is to head west. It'll give your family time to be reconciled.
Reconciled? They should be proud of Hurley.
Artists are, well, they're kind of a strange breed of cat in this neck of the woods. Uncle George and your brothers have been taught to believe that an artist, well, they make kind of poor husband material.
Hurley will be as famous as George Catlin, Mr. Earp.
I'm only trying to say that I think...
Wyatt! Wyatt, that Jackson try's been threatening my artist. I'm going down and give him what for. You better come along. There might be shooting. I'll borrow one of your scatterguns. Doc, no time for jabber. You ready to go?
Miss Jackson, I'd like to have you meet Dr. Holliday.
Miss Jackson? Yeah, you must be Miss Etta Jackson, young woman Abbott plans to marry.
Yes, I am. And I certainly don't want my family attacked by you. And why do you call Hurley your artist?
Well, I bought a picture from him. Are you coming, or do I have to go alone?
Will you cool off? Miss Etta, I'll try and keep the peace. You go find Mr. Abbott, and I'll handle things here.
Now remember,
That fellow may have jumped aboard the Santa Fe. We don't want to do anything that'll make us look ridiculous. Just mosey into Dodge casual like.
What about Etta?
Oh, she's sorry by now she ever laid eyes on that paint slinger. Come on.
You should have stayed in the hospital.
Brilliant observation.
Look, I ask you just one favor. You let me do all the talking to Uncle George.
All right. As long as you make my point clear.
By the way, just what is your point?
They leave my artist and his fiancée alone. No threats, no badgering. I'm still trying to catch up on the short drinks those doctors allowed me.
Here they come. Now, you stay back here. I don't trust your mean temper. Frankly, Mr. Jackson, this Abbott fella doesn't seem like a bad sort to me. Mr. Buntline recommended him.
Ned recommended him to us. Pretty soon that slicker had Etta's head turned.
All artists are immoral, Mr. Earp.
Champagne and women. Well, the point is, Dr. Holliday is taking kind of a shine to Mr. Abbott. I don't want you men to tangle with Doc.
We ain't scared.
Well, you ought to be. Doc could kill all three of you in a draw and shoot.
How come you're on their side, Herb?
Because I think it's a foolish quarrel, Mr. Jackson. And I'm hired to keep the peace in Dodge.
Happens we love Etta.
I'm sure of that, sir. And she loves Mr. Abbott.
All right, Mr. Herb. We respect Holliday as a killer.
We can take him.
No. We'll be coming into Dodge to get that painter fella, and we'll come with enough of our men to get him and Doc Holliday, too. That's fair warning.
What are you doing with a gun?
Well, I can't let Doc Holliday fight my battles for me.
Why not? He enjoys shooting people.
I'm supposed to be a man. Here, watch this. Right in the heart, see? Of course, in a real fight, I'd only use shoulder shots.
Yes, I see.
It's a very simple problem, learning to shoot a pistol. All you do is keep your sight on the spot to be hit, pull the weapon, and push it toward the center of focus.
That's enough. We're leaving.
Leaving?
Marshal Herb is right. We're getting married, Hurley, and going farther west. Now, darling, listen. You can paint just as well in Arizona or New Mexico.
I can't run, my dear. Etta. Look, I don't approve of fighting any more than you do. But it's a part of the frontier. Now, how am I going to paint Western life if I haven't lived it?
One doesn't need to live the life of scoundrels to paint scoundrels. Look at Doc Holliday and paint him.
You're not even trying to understand.
No, I'm not. I'm going to report you to Marshal Earp.
Dr. Holliday returned?
Yeah, him and the marshal just come in. The doc should be here any minute. Hey, you shouldn't be wearing that.
Self-defense.
Hey, Greener. Take off that gun before you hurt yourself.
I practice handling it.
I said take it off.
He don't know no better, Praskins.
All right, then I'll learn him. You're the dude that's been making trouble for the Jackson family. Lift up your hands.
No.
All right, then. Draw.
Trumpet! Get his gun. Quick! Whenever you wing a man, you always get his gun away from him. He might kill you from the floor.
Good point to bear in mind. Isn't anybody going for a doctor?
I'll plug up the hole. A couple of your men can walk him over to McCarty's office. You have a clean handkerchief?
Hmm? Oh, yes.
Who shot him?
Leonardo da Vinci here. He drew a beautifully straight line to the brachial plexus.
I claim self-defense, Mr. Earp.
You didn't check your gun. Let's go. Doc, I want to see you over in my office.
Anything important?
Yeah. A wedding.
Hurley, what's wrong?
I had to hurt a man.
You shot him?
Didn't hurt him much. Clear case of self-defense.
Oh, darling, I don't blame you. I blame that horrible...
You folks ready for the ceremony?
Uncle George has hired some gunfighters to make trouble for us.
Gunfighters?
Yes, so we have to have the wedding right now and leave town.
It's the only sensible thing to do, Mr. Abbott.
You can't be fighting Miss Etta's own uncle and brothers.
No, I realize that now.
Good. Mr. Mayor, take over.
Now, Miss Etta, you stand a little here. Mr. Abbott and Wyatt, you stand up with Mr. Abbott, and I'll stand here.
That's from Katie, Wyatt. She's sick again. I'll just have time to catch the stage.
Of course. Anything I can do?
You can ship me some clothes to Kansas City. I won't have a chance to pack.
I'm sorry, Doc. Ed and I are just going to...
I know, boy. Marry the girl, and then let him run you out of Dodge with a mob. The only artist the town ever had, mob. And you be sure it's done with lots of shooting, huh, Kelly?
Now, just give Dick and me time enough to find Etta and start her back to the ranch. And shove that painter on the 6 o'clock train, alive or dead. Come on, Dick. Come on. We'll follow along in a little while.
And I now pronounce you man and wife as provided by the law of Kansas. Amen. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
May I kiss the bride?
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Now, what's all this about mobs chasing this young fella out of Dodge?
Well, that's just some of Doc's joking, you know.
Well, I thought as much. I wish you both happiness.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Now, get married again in the church, my advice. See you later, Wyatt.
Is Hurley free to go now?
Yes, but I think you both better wait here until train time.
You mean we should hide behind your guns? Hal?
Mr. and Mrs. Abbott, I think you better wait inside there for a few minutes. Your Uncle George and one of the boys are arriving.
We'll stay right here and face them.
No. I'll do the talking first.
You looking for me? Get on that painter fella. They run off?
No, sir.
Where's my sister?
I'm not hired to look after your sister.
He's probably got both of them hid somewhere with Doc Holliday. Didn't I warn you, Earp?
That'll do.
What?
Stop shooting with your mouth. Now back off.
No, he means it. We'll soon have plenty help.
Where's Doc Holliday?
He left town. His missus took sick in Kansas City.
Well, that's a break. Here comes Dick and Uncle George.
We asked Earp, but he's covering for him.
Are you sure they didn't leave town with Doc Holliday? Man says Doc left for Kansas City.
Maybe that's a trick. We start asking questions. Somebody will talk.
Doc had no right to push this thing off on me. He wants the whole town to riot just so his unfunny humor will be like a joke in a graveyard.
Yeah, Dodge don't care if Abbott paints pictures or livery stables.
No. But the Jackson family's well connected here. I'm moving the bride and groom.
Where?
First station down the Santa Fe line. You go on inside there and tell them to get ready.
All right, now what is this, George?
We're looking for Etta and that fella Hurley Abbott.
Well, you're too late. I married him half an hour ago.
That's a lie. Artists don't marry no girl. And if they do, they got a couple of wives already. Now you tell us where they are.
At the jail, that's where. You go getting tough with Wyatt Earp, and Etta will be a bride with no family.
Come on, boys, let's go.
Let him go.
And at first I thought you were right, Mr. Earp. But now I've changed my mind.
Why should we be rushed out of town like criminals?
Mr. Abbott, I've stood off mobs when I didn't much care if I had to shoot the whole kit and caboodle of them. But I don't want to have to hurt your wife's kinfolk. They're wrong, but they've done nothing to deserve being mowed down by buckshot.
They're coming, Wyatt.
How close?
That close.
Take Mr. Abbott to his cell.
Just a minute, Marshal.
Look, they're not going to hurt her. Please. Now, you get out of here.
No. No, I'm staying.
All right, Earp, you got 1 minute. Get him out here.
Watch the window.
You are going to protect Hurley.
It's my job now, but I don't like it. Don't your brothers and your uncle mean anything to you?
Not when they come after Hurley with guns.
Look, you got a license, and you got a wedding ring. Hal? Bring Mr. Abbott out here. If things get too hot, we'll turn him over to her folks.
No, you won't. I'll talk to them.
Cover me.
Etta, honey, watch those triggers.
Uncle George, we've been secretly married for weeks.
Married? What if he's got other wives?
Well, he hasn't. But if you don't call them off, I'll say that I married a bigamist. I will. I'll yell it right out loud. I'll tell the biggest lie you ever heard.
All right, I'll call them off. But you've got to go with us to make it look good.
You promise not to shoot Hurley.
Of course not. No family scandal. All right, boys. We got our little girl back, and that painter man left town.
Get Mr. Abbott. You fellas going back on patrol. Make sure everything stays quiet.
Abbott? Where is she?
She went with her folks.
You let them take her.
No, Mr. Abbott, she's taken them. Now, don't you worry about it, though. She's going to meet you later. She told them that she'd been married for weeks.
What?
Yeah. And she said if they didn't call off the men, that she was going to spread the word around that you were a bigamist.
A bigamist?
Mm-hmm. I kind of thought the marriage license had had good effect, but, well, I never thought of calling you a bigamist. You know, so your wife saved a lot of people from getting killed today.
Bigamy? Why, Etta's the first girl I ever even kissed.
Oh, don't you ever admit that. No, sir, not even to Mrs. Abbott. No, sir, you're an artist. And, well, you can't disillusion people.
One of the notorious rackets of the 1870s was the publishing of frontier town or county histories. Original settlers had to pay to have their life stories printed in one of these books. As Marshal Earp discovered, a prospective history of Dodge City could lead to bitterness, gunfighting, riot, and death.
You lying cheat! Where's my money? Help! Police! Help! I haven't got your money! Police!
Oh,
Police!
Here comes Earp. I ain't armed, Earp.
All right, Mr. Morris, what's your trouble this time?
You got $100 of my money to put my picture in the book. Only the book never came out.
Mr. Morris doesn't understand. It takes time to publish a history.
A history? I want this shrimp arrested.
Let's go into my office. Take your hands off.
He's a crooked little swindler. He claimed he'd call the book Pioneers of the Chisholm Trail.
All right, all right. Now, look, if you've got a receipt or a contract for publication, let's see it.
Sure, right here. Howdy, Doc.
I thought Wyatt told you to stay out of Dodge.
Oh, well, that blood's been spilt and forgotten. We're friendly now, ain't we?
No. You Professor O.B. Jordan?
Ph.D., Doctor of Literature. That fellow is an illiterate thug.
Well, you owe him $100. It says here the book was supposed to be published July 1st, and this is September.
Yeah. I haven't got it.
Throw him in jail, Wyatt.
Shut up.
Look, I ain't armed, Doc.
Here. There's your $100. Now get out of town.
Fine, Doc, fine.
You tried to kill Wyatt on 2 occasions when you had a mob of drunken gunslingers to back you up. If he's forgotten that, I haven't.
Oh, no hard feelings, not between me and Wyatt or you, Doc. Much obliged.
To think that I should have come to this.
You're a very lucky man, Professor Jordan. You caught Dr. Holliday in a generous mood.
Oh, I'm not ungrateful. Holliday, not the Dr. John H. Holliday.
I am. And don't think I'm in a generous mood. On your feet, sir. You take your wagon down to the Long Branch Saloon. I'll be with you presently.
Be with me? Oh, yes, of course.
What do you make of it, Doc? George Morris having the gall to come on back into Dodge City.
Pride, Wyatt. Stupid, ignorant pride.
You think that row with the professor was on the level?
I do. George Morris paid $100 to get his name into a county history book. Now, don't grin. There are 50 men in this town who'd pay $200 each.
Oh, come on.
You know, Professor Jordan amuses me. I think he followed his nose to Dodge. The odor of human conceit and subhuman ambition.
Well, the professor is a swindler, and I'll order him out of town.
Now, hold on. You give that order to George Morris.
No, I can't do that.
Why not?
Because Mr. Morris has already had his punishment. Bat Masterson and I shot his legs out from under him. We beat him, Doc. You saw how the man crawled out of town like a dog.
I still haven't taught you, have I? You think you have this miserable town halfway civilized? Why, George Morris is not licked. All he needs is another mob with Kelly, Judge Tobin, Hanson, and the rest of your so-called friends marching behind him.
Aren't you a little drunk?
You better start loading those sawed-off shotguns, Deacon. I'm afraid you're going to need them. Professor, I will back you to the limit of $10,000.
$10,000?
On one condition.
What is it, may I ask?
You take your pictures, but I write the biographical sketches. Oh, and I want my $10,000 back. You can keep any profit.
Well, that's astounding. Incredible.
And what a petty scoundrel you are. If I had your health, I would steal $5 million.
That much? Why?
The sum of $5 million is like 5 million gallons of water. Both purify themselves. I would die in the odor of sanctity.
Yes, I believe you would. The idea is much too big for me.
Quiet. Enough talk. You start taking those pictures.
There we are. Very nice, Mr. Mayor.
You need another pose, Professor?
Not just now. Try to assemble some of the other founders.
Yes, I'll round them up. Here, now, you people get away from this camera and don't disturb Professor Jordan. Here, now get away from this. Of course, the possibilities are tremendous. Just a minute, I want to get a paper. And you certainly rate among the original 7 founders, Tom.
I know, but as a banker, I have to make sure it'll be a dignified volume.
Now, we'll see to that. You should have heard what they said, boss. They called you a Johnny-come-lately.
Shove him aside, boss, and I'll plug him.
No, I can whip both of them by myself. He's dead.
Give me this. What started this?
I heard them call Mr. Williams riffraff. They said he couldn't be in that book.
Hal, you notify the coroner. Then you take Mr. Kelly, Mr. Hanson, and this man over to my office.
Wyatt, it was all a mistake. An accident. We lost our tempers and...
I know that, Mr. Kelly. Dr. Holliday is responsible for this, and I'm going to have to arrest him. Now, go on, Hal, take him out of here. Jones, come in.
Stand.
Take it here. Doc, I think you better come with me.
You mean you're arresting me?
That's right.
On what charge? Holding the mirror up to human nature?
Let's not argue about it here, huh?
Take over mine.
Judge Stoughton, I think you ought to issue a court order restraining Dr. John H. Holliday and Professor Jordan from any more of this nonsense. Now, Dr. Holliday isn't interested in publishing a history. He's in this promotion as a practical joke on Dodge City and some of the citizens he just doesn't happen to like.
If the court, please.
Go ahead.
Marshal Earp is making an assumption of my motives. I submit that no judge can restrain the mere prospectus of a book.
Agreed? Look, Judge, one man is dead and another wounded in disputes over this thing.
Order. I sympathize with Marshal Earp, but unfortunately, the law cannot take action before the commission of a crime. Marshal Earp's application for a restraining order is denied.
Thank you, Judge Tobin. Thank you very much. Dr. Holliday, do you think this is really wise? I mean, in view of the dreadful...
A dozen men are waiting to have their picture taken. You better scoot before they start wrecking your equipment.
Oh, dear me, I must go quickly.
Now, I put it to you straight, Doc. Is this a joke you're making, like Wyatt says?
I am not on the witness stand, Kelly. You can stay in the history book or you can get out and I'll refund your subscription fee. And the same goes for you, Tom.
Well, let's not be too hasty, Jim. My wife is anxious to have me in the book. You know how women are. Come along, Jim. We'll talk this over.
I'll join you, gentlemen.
Oh, all right. Well, I still think Wyatt's right. I could be wrong.
They'll stay in the history book. And Judge Tobin will be right along with them.
Look, it isn't funny.
Well, every man to his own joke, Deacon. You want to call it off? How? Admit that Dodge isn't worth trying to civilize? Give up your penny ante job here. Move to Arizona with Kate and me. You know what? You are the one man I could say I almost like.
Whose idea was it for me to leave town? Yours or Miss Kate's?
Well, Kate worries, and I think. You keep believing the people here deserve law and order. They're a bunch of drunkards and idiots who will eventually cut you down.
Look, Major Kern and one Cowboy don't make a mob, and you can't make a mob by writing a silly book. And if I catch you trying, I'm going to lock you up. And I'm sorry if I lose my temper.
Well, now, I'm sorry, too. Wyatt, your foolish faith in people needs a bad shaking up. You better brace yourself.
That's fine. Next subject, please.
Oh, very good, yes. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Yes. Well, Professor. Let go of me. Dr. Holliday paid you in full. Oh, sure. Look here. I'm going to give you 100 and another 100 besides. What for? Well, I'm the first cattleman in Ford County. I got more of a right than any of them has to be in a history book. Oh, no. This book deals only with Dodge City.
Well, what's this? Is Mr. Morris bothering you, Professor?
Yes, he is, and I'm very busy.
Later.
I offered to pay him 200 cash, Doc. That ought to prove that I'm willing to let bygones be bygones.
We'll put you in the book.
No joking?
None. But you'll have to pose for your photo in private.
Well, how come?
The other subscribers might object. Personally, I wouldn't want to be in the same library with you, much less the same book.
In private, and mum's the word. Now, that a deal?
One question. Why would you want to be in a book?
Well, I'm a historical character. The professor said so when he agreed to put me in Pioneers of the Chisholm Trail.
It's a deal. Pay me. Now, you keep out of my sight until I send for you.
Hey, Professor! Delvin, Duncan, Dooley. Any more D's?
Oh, man, Dornholtz.
Oh, no. No, I agree with the judge. We gotta watch Holiday. Make sure he keeps the riffraff out.
Right, Jim.
Well, now let's get on with the E's. Wyatt Earp.
Well, I see you men are helping Doc with history.
Jim suggested your name for the book.
No, thank you.
And why not now? Why, you've made more real history in this town than the rest of us put together.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Kelly, the Texas papers have written me up plenty. All bad.
Just Johnny Reb prejudice. Why, Doc's your friend. He wouldn't allow anything to happen.
By the way, where is Doc?
Drinking in the back room. Can't be disturbed.
Well, I'll disturb him.
I'm busy. Go away.
It's Wyatt, Doc.
What do you want?
Well, you open up and I'll tell you.
All right, just a moment.
Oh, I get it now. You're writing the history, huh?
Well, why not?
You know, I was wrong, Doc. You could make a riot.
George Morris, backed by Jim Kelly, Judge Tobin, and every other sucker who wants his ugly face and dull life story in print.
Including Mr. Morris?
Oh, well, his picture and biography lead the book.
Of course, you praise them all.
Naturally.
Well, you're under arrest, Doc.
Not again.
But this time I'm gonna make it stick. Let's go.
The book.
What's the charge this time, Marshal? Hating your fellow men and hating yourself.
You gonna make that stick?
No. But officially, you got caught inciting a riot.
Huh.
Judge Tobin, I've arrested Dr. Holliday again. I think it'll save time if you come along, sir.
Are you sure of your legal facts?
Yes, sir. The doctor is a truthful man. I'm sure he'll substantiate the charge.
Come along, Tobin.
Wyatt must have caught Doc right in the book.
Doc, I told Professor Jordan.
The back room. I'll be having a look. James Dog Kelly,
former soldier and saloon keeper, a gay lad with the ladies, sowed wild oats all over Kansas. Several cowhands died from drinking his whiskey. Lies, every bit of it. What does he say about me? There's yours. Criminal, slander, and liable. That's what. No. Hey, you said it. Well, we got Doc this time. Come on. Just a minute. George Morris. He was going to put him in the book? Oh, no. George Morris. Knave, liar, poltroon, scoundrel, to quote Lord Macaulay. Such he is, and it is just such men as he who founded Dodge City. This cow thief, brawler, and murderer. Who are you talking about? Oh, not us. Doc wrote it for the book. Read it. Doc warned me he was going to start trouble. He aims to use that book to malign and blackguard every decent man in town, if any.
Dr. Holliday, I must ask you for that manuscript.
No, sir.
Then I'll issue a subpoena, duces tecum. The manuscript will be seized and impounded.
Now, you're too good a lawyer to try that.
Wyatt, there's trouble at the Long Branch. George Morris is stirring up a mob. Let's throw it, Doc Holliday.
Judge, I suggest you admit Doc to bail at once. It'll give him time to get out of town.
Excellent idea. How much?
Well, you can't release a man with a mob coming to get him.
Well, speak up, Deacon. You aim to defend me right here?
No, I don't. This time you run for it.
Well, in that case, bail will be $1,000.
Cheap. There. But I'm not running. I will catch the 6 o'clock train for Kansas City to consult with my publisher.
All right, Al. Maybe we'll have time to break Morris before he starts.
Come on, boys. The rest of you, come here, too. Take a look in the wagon and see if the professor's there. If he is, just slap him around. It's Doc Holliday that we're after. All right, let's tip it over. All right, boys, let her go.
Professor isn't in here, George.
Okay, fire it up, boys. All right, that does it. Let's head for the jail. Doc's gone to the depot. You sure? Herb turned him loose. I saw him walking across the plaza only a minute ago. You hear that, boys? Doc's at the depot. Let's go get him. Probably headed for Santa Fe. We better get over there. No. I'm not risking deputies. You tell the rest of the boys to stay out of it. I'll try to get to Doc before Morris does.
Don't take no chances with Doc, boys. We'll surround him and then blast him out of the depot with rifles.
Hey, it's Herb! Stop him!
Some of your friends want to see you.
They're not close enough. I borrowed this from the station master. It's too short for range.
We want Doc Holliday! Send him out here, Herb! Send him out and we'll get you both!
Is that what you want? Give me that. The history of Dodge City. It's good reading. Yeah. On your feet. And bolt that door. And move it. You take a look at that mob. You see Mayor Kelly in that mob? You see Mr. Hanson? You see one decent man that amounts to anything in this town?
Hold it, boy! Your last chance, Herb! Come out with Doc or we're gonna burn you out!
I thought so.
Boston! Hold your fire! I got something I want to show you.
Here. Read it. Nothing but blank pages.
That's right. That's what Doc thinks of you, and I agree with him. If you want to fight over that, commence.
Can't we kill it for you?
No. Now, you men clear out of town. Go on, get out of here.
Give me a hand. Give him there.
Shoot you, Ben Thompson.
No. I should do it.
Doc, this is just plain murder. Can't you calm these two down?
You deserve killing, Ben. Rita?
No, Doc.
Jenny? Now I'll give a count of 3. And then you fire. 1, 2.
And bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Next to Doc Holliday, the outlaw Ben Thompson was probably the sorest trial to Marshal Wyatt Earp. Ben always insisted that he loved Wyatt like a brother. And according to Ben's curious code, this gave him the right to call on Wyatt for help in any personal matter not concerned with breaking the law. One day in 1878, Wyatt found himself involved in a real mess with Ben Thompson, Doc Holliday, and 2 angry women.
And after I put up the $5,000 to go partners with Ben in a sparrow game, he ran out on me. There was also the minor detail that he promised marriage.
Sounds just like Ben Thompson. You certain he's here in Dodge?
Where else? He bragged to me that he and Wyatt Earp are pals. Say, what kind of a Johnny Law are you hiring for Marshal anyway?
Now, just hold your temper, Miss McCabe. I'll get this straightened out.
With Earp?
Yes.
When?
Well, right away. I've warned him repeatedly about Ben Thompson. I'm the mayor of this town, and I run things here.
And I am no wench to be treated this way. I am Rita Morales. My father, my uncles, my brother, my cousin.
Please, Senorita, please.
Please stop saying that. Prove to me that you do not approve of his behavior. I am not a stupid, defenseless Yankee. I will make trouble for you. Much trouble.
Well, I believe that, Senorita. Now, where is Ben? Where can I find him?
Well, he's not in church.
Look for him in saloons or dance halls or big faro games. And be quick. I have little patience. And my vaqueros, they have no patience at all. Excuse.
Certainly. Wyatt, your friend Ben Thompson's in town.
I know. She told me.
She did? Well, there are two women mixed up in this?
I only met Senorita Morales.
Well, I met another one, named Jenny McCabe. A pretty howdy-do.
She must be if she's as pretty as Miss Rita.
Oh, prettier. A well-constructed redhead with... Oh. Now, Wyatt, I've begged you a dozen times to have nothing to do with Ben Thompson. Now he's brought the makings of a scandal, maybe even bloodshed, right to your very door.
Mr. Mayor, I'll have a little talk with Ben, and if I find that the facts justify it, I'll make him leave town.
Facts you're needing? A man who's played fast and loose with every woman this side of
I know, Mr. Mayor, I know, but let's try to leave the ladies out of this, huh? They're no angels, you know, and they can play fast and loose, too.
Well, I leave it in your hands, Wyatt.
Hey, Don, I gotta talk to you, man. Wait till I finish here.
You're here to gamble or gossip.
He's here.
Ben Thompson's in town. Me and Charlie's got some business with him.
He just rode in the Durgan's livery stable. Excuse us, Doc. Give me time to get in back of him. All right.
You take over, Mike. I'm gonna referee a fight.
You want me, Don Burkett?
Take him. Got the drop on you, Ben.
Doc Holliday. Thanks a lot, Doc. That was a close one. I appreciate it.
I'll take 5 cents for the cartridge.
You... Same old Doc. All right, there's a dime. You keep the change.
Get out of town, Ben.
Wait a minute. How's come you're sore now?
I never did regard you with anything but dislike.
All right. Charlie there had the drop on me. Why didn't you let him hurt me?
You know I don't sanction front and back gunplay. 2 against 1.
That's right. I forgot. Well, anyway, thanks a lot. How?
This one's dead, Marshal.
Here comes the deacon.
All right, who did it? I have a faro game running. Talk to you later.
Well? Well, I guess I shot that one there, pal. But Doc Holliday, he shot that one over there and charged me 5 cents for the cartridge.
They're both dead, Wyatt. Both of them are drawn. This one managed to get off one shot.
All right. Go get the coroner, huh?
Right.
Did you know him?
Yeah. That one there's Don Burkett. That's Charlie Patton over there. A couple of soreheads thought I was cheating him in a poker game. I'll be up to post bond. But that ain't what's got me spooked. Pal, a couple of girlfriends of mine are chasing me with guns.
Hmm. A Miss Morales and a Miss McCabe.
They're already here.
Yep.
Wyatt, I shouldn't be out here on the street. You put me in jail, huh?
You're asking for protective custody?
Sure, pal. You spread the word that I got 6 months, then they'll get tired of waiting around and leave town.
Well, it isn't that simple, Ben.
All right, then, pal. You just look up Rita and Jenny, and you tell them to get out of town. And you tell them to quit threatening me. Wyatt, why can't we get in off the street?
Come on. Ben, both women claim that you promised to marry. Miss McCabe told the mayor that you took $5,000 from him. Now, are their statements true? Are they true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew you lied to women. You do that all the time, but this is the first time I ever heard of you promising to marry him. You're already married.
Well, that's just it, pal. I'm not.
Your wife divorced you, huh?
2 months ago in San Antonio.
I can't do anything. Best thing for you to do is to get out of Dodge pronto.
Fine. Well, I guess you better just dig me a grave, pal.
Come on now, you're not afraid of two women, are you?
Did you ever see a woman shoot?
Oh.
Now, I'm not fooling, Wyatt. They're deadly. Now, they never felt the recoil of a gun before, so they don't flinch none. They just point it at you like they're pointing their finger and pow.
Well, what can I do?
Well, what can I do about it? You can't shoot back at them. I'm sorry. I know you'd help me if you could, but you can't. How long do I get to stay in Dodge?
Until sundown, Mayor Kelly's orders.
Hard, but fair, I guess. There's $6,000. You find Jenny and give her 5 back, and the other 1,000 ought to about cover my burial.
Ought to just about cover it.
Do I get my gun back, pal?
Oh, sure. But you wouldn't wear it on the street, would you?
Oh, no, what? Well, so long, pal.
So long, Ben.
Wyatt.
I'm Jenny McCabe, the new city clerk.
Oh, Mayor Kelly must have just hired you.
Well, Marshal Earp left his night record sheet in his room, and he asked me to pick it up for the file.
I see. Well, I guess it's all right, miss.
It'll only take a second.
Wait here.
Who is it?
Rita Morales.
Oh. All right. What do you want?
C'est monsieur. I must find Ben.
Satisfied?
No. This is the Marshal Earp's room. You came here to get information from him.
My own idea.
I also need the information.
And I claim the right to settle with Ben first. He's got a lot of money that belongs to me.
Ben proposed first to me. It is my family shame. I do not want my uncles and brothers to be put in jail for shooting that man.
Then clear out. I'll do the job.
I don't trust you.
Are you calling me a liar?
You are worse than that. You are a common dance hall gambler.
Oh! Ah!
Mr. Earp.
Yeah, Charlie?
I gave that new clerk the key to your room.
New clerk?
Miss McCabe from the mayor's office. She said you told her to pick up some police records.
Thank you.
Oh, let go of that gun.
I will not.
Yes, you will.
Oh,
All right, break it up. Break it up, both of you. Break it up. I said break it up.
Now, whose gun is this?
Never mind.
where is Ben? You hide him?
No.
What's happening? What's going on here? Two of them, Marshal. That's right, two of them. Get out of here.
I'm certainly
and shut the door.
that you, Marshal,
Shut the door.
Deacon of the church. The idea of such a thing.
Miss Morales, Miss McCabe, I have good news for you. Ben Thompson has left Dodge. He returned your $5,000. I have it for you in my office.
Ben run away?
Don't you believe him? You're a John Law. What business is this of yours?
Mayor Kelly says you appealed to him for help.
I did not. I just warned him that you and Ben are dear old pals.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Mr. Thompson has never caused me anything but trouble, and I ordered him to leave town. I'm going to request that you leave my room. Both of you.
I'll drop by for the money.
Won't you let me talk to Ben just for a few minutes?
Miss Morales, I don't know where he is.
May I have my gun back, please?
All right.
Gracias. You are in deep trouble. I am sorry.
Marshal Earp. Doc Holliday's aiming to massacre some fellas down at the Long Branch.
No, move!
Wait a minute, Doc, I didn't mean to start
That's far enough. We kill us a few skunks, Ben.
I'll just take this end, right?
Now, what's all this about?
They've been lying about you, Wyatt. They say you're mixed up with two women.
Ben knows the women. I thought I told you to leave town.
Well, it ain't sundown yet, pal.
Mr. Thompson, you go to my rooms in the Dodge House. Refresh yourself. I'll settle this with Deacon Earp.
Get out. Break it up, man.
I hold no brief with Ben Thompson. He's a scamp. But you consider your own idiotic behavior. You allow Jim Kelly to bulldoze you into messing with Ben and his women.
Mr. Kelly is the mayor.
Yeah. He's also the first man who'll turn against you when these lies are printed in the newspapers. Wyatt, I've come to the conclusion you need a thoroughgoing scoundrel to befriend you in this affair.
Ben Thompson, I reckon, huh?
No. No, Ben's a Newfoundland puppy at heart. I offer you my assistance.
Oh, thanks.
Then I take it my offer's accepted.
Look, Doc, I told Ben to get out of town. Now, when he leaves, the women are going to chase after him, and it's all going to be over.
It won't put an end to the story that you're a fancy Dan. 100 Texas cowhands you threw in jail will be only too happy to repeat that slander.
Well, talk has never bothered me. Let him blabber.
That's going to be your attitude. I'll just have to act without your consent.
Look, Doc, why don't you be sensible? What difference does it make if they say I had 50 women in my hotel room?
What difference? Wyatt, men like me have a curious obligation to the truth. It would sicken me to be called good, and conversely, I don't propose to have you called bad. You're often a sentimental idiot. But you are not bad.
More trouble. A bunch of Mexicans just moved in. They're watching the Dodge House.
How many?
5 or 6.
Well, disarm them, Marshal. Disarm them.
I'll give it my attention, sir.
Good.
Look, don't you think you ought to push along the newspaper office, Mr. Mayor?
Right.
Wyatt, Ben Thompson's not worth a gunfight.
He's holed up in Doc's quarters at the hotel. Doc will join any play made against him.
I hate to get tough with the Mexicans.
Yeah, I know. Every time we've had to do it, we found out they were right. Look, I want to talk to the Morales girl. See if you can find her, will you?
Right.
Ben?
Rita's boys. Looks like they got me surrounded, Doc.
You let Wyatt take care of them. What's the truth behind all this, Ben?
You interested?
Any dealings you might have with women would arouse a certain morbid curiosity, yes. Sit down.
Got a drink?
Always. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you got yourself into this fix.
Well, tell you.
I came for my money.
Oh, well, there's been a little hitch.
Oh, no, none of that. $5,000. You said Ben left it for me.
Yeah, well, Ben hasn't left town.
Well, what's that got to do with...
Look, Miss McCabe, there are a bunch of Morales gunfighters that have got Ben surrounded.
Where?
The Dodge Hotel.
She can't pull that. I'm settling with Ben, not her.
You want to marry him?
I might have my childish dreams. Who knows?
Well, I think you want to shoot Ben. I think Miss Rita might have the same idea.
She's just as sore at Ben as I am, and meaner, too. Why, she'd shoot him and...
I told my vaqueros to stay out of town. How dare you blame me for what happened?
I blame all three of you. Now, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to get your men out of Dodge.
What? What if they refuse?
Then I'm going to throw them all in jail.
But all I want is to see Ben. Talk to him.
Sure. And plug him with that Derringer.
You have gun, big one, in there. It's against the law, Marshal.
Yeah, it sure is. Carrying them on the street. All right, you both turn over your weapons. Come on, put them on the desk. Enough of this nonsense. Now, you get your vaqueros out of Dodge.
I'll go right along with her and see that she does.
Hal, you escort the ladies. Right. I'll be along with Vic and Chuck later. 10 minutes, Senorita.
10 minutes. Ha!
So you see, Doc, the whole thing's got me, well, kind of puzzled. Do they both love me, or do neither one of them? And if just one of them loves me, how do I tell which one?
You willing to marry one of them?
Well, sure, I guess, if she loves me.
You're going to marry Ben.
Huh?
You got Wyatt into this corner. It's up to you to get him out.
You mean me marrying one of them will square my old pal? Well, if it's got to be, it's got to be. Oh, I'd do worse than marrying for Wyatt. You know that.
Good. Jabba. Come here, Ben. Who's that?
Oh, that's Valdez, and he's got a couple of...
No, I mean the other girl.
That's Jenny.
Ask them to come up here.
Both of them?
Both of them.
At the same time?
Yes, Ben, at the same time.
Hope you know what you're doing.
La vine a proteger y me voy a quedar aquí.
Rita? Jenny? Come on up to Doc Holliday's rooms. Want to talk to you.
I go. Stop fight.
They're both coming. At the same time. I don't know, Doc. This seems like an awful lot to be doing, even for a pal like Wyatt.
You're going to do a lot more. Lift him.
Oh, you gotta be joking. Guess maybe you ain't.
Sit down in that chair.
It's a big idea.
Sit down.
Are you crazy?
Ben, all your life you've been making fools out of women. Now, 2 of those women are going to make a dead man out of you.
All right, Hal, take him. Lift him. Come on. Chuck, back around the side. Vic.
There's trouble downstairs. Outside.
You stay here with me. Ben?
Clap it.
All right, ladies. I understand you came here to shoot Ben Thompson.
We wouldn't be doing you a favor, would we?
Not at all. But you deserve to be killed by an angry woman, don't you, Ben?
I guess I do.
Of course, I'd respect your desire to kill Ben a great deal more if you'd left Marshal Earp out of your problem. Rita?
Doc.
Jenny? I'll give a count of 3.
Rita, baby. Jenny. I ain't gonna beg either of you.
Ladies, I'll commence the counts. 1, 2.
Darling, I no shoot you. I never shoot you.
That's all right, dear. Now, just don't get yourself all upset. Everything's gonna be all right.
Doc, what's going on here?
Happiness, Wyatt. Happiness and joy. A wedding has just been arranged.
A what?
A wedding.
Just a minute, honey. Wyatt, old pal, no hard feelings?
No hard feelings, Ben.
That's what is mean man. Very mean.
Angel.
Have a good time.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh,